And you can see the rain continues to fall. It is a mess, but the fans are out. This is one of the few times you're going to see a single file rolling start. The green flag will, though, come here on the start-finish straight instead of that back straight, but that just makes sense.
It certainly does. I mean, safety is really the key here today, and I think P.D. Cunningham, pole sitter in GTS, will really spread the gap there today between he and the back of the GT field. Oh, Haschenbach's he's off! Haschenbach on the parade lap. You can talk about the grip, Greg. That is one of the spots when you come out of the keyhole there. It is really, really slick, and Lawson Haschenbach loses a couple of spots there.
And boy, watching it is loose. Look at that, Steve Ott.
Wow.
Absolutely sideways. That's drifting stuff. And look at that. Did his Sandberg. It gets away from him, and it looks like he's going to actually get in and hit the, yeah, not hard, but he got into the barriers.
Rear wing looks okay, Greg. That is the key.
And we're onto the front straight. The yellow flags drop from the corner workers, which means we are green, and it is Popes over Figge. And oh, in the back, did I see? Yes! Lindsay's off.
Wow, talk about slick racetrack, just trying to get the power down there, coming to green. He loses control there out of turn 13 and has beached it. So we're going to be going yellow here before we even get a lap on the board.
But let's go back, take another look from a different angle at what happened to Pat.
Just look in the background there. You see the orange and white Hawk Performance Corvette. He just gets on the power there, just loses the back end, tries to catch it, switches around on him, and his car is beached in the gravel. Steve also having a problem there up in the keyhole section of the racetrack. This is just hard for these guys to keep. Oh, and he turns it again.
Boy, I mean, he's just off of that good rain line, and the grip is non-existent. Meanwhile, let's go on board with Pat Lindsay for a look at his moment.
Just did an upshift there, and you'd think that would give you more traction at lower RPM, but just turns it around.
Tough break, and you can see he is absolutely embedded into that gravel trap. And there's, another car off there as well, the Nissan. And it's restart time again, single file, and a big gap between the two Volvos and those Cadillacs behind. And I just wonder if it was the Cadillac's ability to get to the throttle just not as good without that all-wheel drive.
I think so, because Jordan Taylor really has a big gap now between he and second place Figge right now. And that's the ability of these all-wheel drive cars, just to get the power down. On board now with Courtney through turn one.
What a move. That was Gleason who went around him and that nondescript car up front with a spray. Couldn't tell. And right now just getting swallowed up.
It's Gallardi there, and there you see Jack Baldwin in the mix as well. Remember, there's a big championship on the line here today. But oh, Gallardi gets a little bit wide, almost off, just keeps it together. Baldwin slides to the inside for position.
By the way, we've just been informed it is a timed race. And I think that's David Tuati has maybe gone around in the Tuati Lira Motorsports entry.
It's over in the turn 8-9 area. You just come up over that hill, and there's no way around it, Greg. You can run the rim shot around a single corner, but where it gets really twisty, you come back across the normal racing line. That's where it's really difficult to find good grip in the racetrack.
And while we were watching that incident, look at this. Kevin Gleason gets around P.D. Cunningham for the lead, Cal.
Here we see it coming out of turn one. He gets a good launch. P.D. looking to the outside again of Tony Gaples, and Gleason just feeling the grip right now. He's got a lot of confidence in that race car, just slides it to the inside up into turn two.
Meanwhile, a great battle for third in the touring car category. Alex Popov, Mason hanging on and really looking for any way around him he possibly can, and some serious company behind them as well, so it's a great battle. Meanwhile, look at this run here, the two Cadillacs at war, Cal.
Well, they're teammates, but remember the championship is on the line. Johnny O has a healthy lead in this championship, but for Andy Pilgrim to go into the final round, he needs to make up some points today on Johnny. Johnny just tried to squeeze on that power a little bit early. There you can see Andy searching for grip, trying different lines. Starting to dry out a little bit right now, Greg, and I think we'll see the guys start to switch back more to the regular dry racing line as the grip will come back to them.
Well, and if nothing else, it gives you a little bit more confidence getting off of that quote-unquote rain line to make a pass, make some sort of a move as we hop on board with Shea Holbrook in the True Car Honda, and she is getting swallowed up by silver Cadillacs at this point. So those eyes are no doubt busy in those mirrors. Let's take a look at a replay of a pass that just unfolded here, Cal.
This is a pass for second in GTS. Here we're on board with Al Carter. He goes to the inside into the keyhole corner of Jack Baldwin. You can see now that the grip is coming back to that normal dry racing line as he keeps that position. acceleration and gets traction coming off the corner.
And a few moments after that, this pass unfolded.
This is coming on the front straightaway. Same thing here. We're on board with Lawson Archenbach. This is a pass for third on Jordan Taylor. Looking for a podium here today. Look at this. Mark Boda down the outside. He looks the outside of Cunningham. Can he keep it together? Oh, runs into the grass. That was a great catch there. Was looking to the outside of P.D. Cunningham. Just got a little bit sideways, but what a save.
Boy, that could have been so much worse instead of just losing the one spot. As we got one of the Mustangs, I think that's Brad Adams in the Voodoo Music Machine that just had a little bit of a moment there as well. Another nice save working through all of this traffic. Closing in on the finish of this 11th round of the Pirelli World Challenge Championships, the Cadillac Mid-Ohio Grand Prix presented by Stop Tech. And as you can see, a lot less spray coming off the cars, drying up just a little bit, still damp certainly, but certainly better in terms of being back on the normal line. There is your race leader overall and in GT, Randy Pobst. After going 13 years without a win, he's looking for 2 in a row. That's impressive.
Wow, he's been dominant both days in the dry yesterday. Flawless run in the wet. Wow, he's just taken off.
Yeah, Randy's got the gift to be sure, and in these conditions where it's all about car control and the like, he is superb. You see there, a little twitch. It is still slippery, and there's
Gables
proof.
goes around.
Oh, right in the middle of the pack, and again, some brilliant driving.
Look at this. This is the battle in GTS here for the top 5. This is on.
Oh, man, look at that's Baldwin. He's got Cunningham right in front of him. And then look at that scrum.
Galati and Bowden there going side by side. And this is tough because the grip level is going to be different on one side of the track to the other.
And you're working other traffic as well. These guys, boy, talk about paying attention.
Now this is really critical because Cunningham has a healthy points lead after yesterday with that win. Jack Baldwin needs to maintain this track position to close that gap even just a little bit heading to Sonoma.
And of course PD's got the motivation of Bowden and the 2 Kias behind him. Oh, and Brad Adams, who's had himself a pretty good race day today, even with that little off we saw earlier. Now a lot of smoke out the back of that car.
Well, he's the lone remaining Mustang in the field, but here we're looking at Randy Pobst clearing some traffic, serenely on his way. He's still running that wet line around the outside of turn 11 there as Adams pulls off.
Again, you can see the clock at the top. We mentioned this is now a timed event, and we expect the white flag to come out at this time because obviously in the wet, even in these better conditions, lap time's still way off what they would normally be. And yes, the white flag flies, so Randy Pobst just has to hang on for one more lap around this very demanding track, made ever more so in these damp conditions.
And you could see him there just cleverly, masterfully weaving his way around the normal dry line there, coming through those last couple of corners. He searched the grip out and he's found a beautiful drive by him. Behind him we see Nick Hussain in the second of the real-time anchors we mentioned before, celebrating his 100th start in World Challenge competition. His teammate Petey in the thick of the battle still for the GTS podium.
Look at this. Randy Pobst's going to sweep it, and he backed off a little bit, and Alex Figge right behind him, so you get the photo finish here, and that's awesome. A 1-2 for these boys. Figge enjoying this after that mechanical problem in round 10. Only his 3rd ever race in the rain. Kevin Gleason looks like he may just hold on to it here, and what a great story this will be.
Wow, what a surprise. I mean, coming into this series, it's so competitive. We know that Porsche Cayman has been quick in the hands of Jack Baldwin, but what a great day for Kevin and the whole Gleason Racing family.
Yeah, and keeping in mind, that car didn't even exist when Baldwin won his race at Long Beach. This is just a great story for them to be able to put this together. And Naples and Porsche said their whole goal is to build a lot of these cars and have them in World Challenge competition, and they're proving that you can do that. And Todd Lamb, what a remarkable race he has put together here. Got that great start we talked about earlier on, and he too has been near perfect in that national karting news. Compass 360 Honda Civic, just a great drive for him at this point.
The happiest kid in the candy store is Randy Pobst.
I'll tell you what, all-wheel drive on a day like today is really the magic bullet. And having a team like K-Pax Racing, who just never gives up and works so hard to make the best Volvo race cars you could ever imagine. These X60 R-Design all-wheel drives were really the hot ticket, but it was not easy. I'll tell you what, amazingly slick out there. 2 guys lost oil lines and oiled down the track during the session. It was an incredible, incredible race.
Great drive today. The Porsche looked great.
Porsche was awesome, and I gotta give it up to all the guys at Napleton. They've been working really long nights, working really hard to get this car ready, and they got it ready. And it just shows the effort that they put forth that I was able to go out in my first weekend of the year and run this well.
And in touring cars, Todd Lamb executing beautifully, and he found his way into victory circle where Jim is.
It was a good race. Interesting.
It was an interesting race. Felt really great. I was really hoping it would rain today. It's the great equalizer out there. We don't quite have the power to hang with the turbos, but we knew if it rained, we had the handling to get the job done, and I know the track really well in the rain, so I was really happy to see it rain. I'm real happy for the guys at Compass 360. Did an amazing job with that Honda. With National Kart News behind us, it's a fantastic package, and I couldn't be happier to be back on the top step of the podium.
I think he's happy. Let's take a look at our Touring Car Drivers' Championship points presented by Volvo, and there you see Cooper over Lamb, but it closed up. And a good battle for third between Winchester and Holbrook, and then Tristan Herbert sits in fifth.
Let's take a look at the Touring Car Manufacturers' Championship. Here we see Honda on top from Mazda and Volkswagen. It's 15 points, but 3 rounds left at Sonoma.
And time for our Motul Fast Lap Award winners. Randy Pope's getting it in the GT category. Al Carter, great run for him in GTS, and Todd Lamb in Touring. Well, folks, it's time for the Kia Rewind. We're just going to show you some of the highlights and moments of this amazing weekend that unfolded here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course for the Cadillac Grand Prix of Mid-Ohio, presented by StopTech. Some brilliant racing. Great to see some new cars really showing some tremendous form. And the championship battles, Cal, that is what's so compelling right now, both manufacturer and driver. And for the GT and GTS category, 1 round left. For Touring Car, 3 rounds left. And of course, we are going to have the Touring Car B-Spec final rounds unfolding in Sonoma, the final round, the season finale of the championship. And Cal, that's another fun track.
It's a beautiful part of the country and a great circuit, and there's a lot on the line in all 4 championships.
So we invite you to tune in and watch our coverage as it unfolds from Sonoma. We're going to show you the air date. There it is. Make sure and watch with us if you would. For Jim Martin and Calvin Fish, I'm Greg Creamer. Take care, everybody.